Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next companion plant, and today I've chosen another variety of salvia. This is Salvia Amistad. Amistad comes from the Spanish word for friendship, and this one is often called the friendship sage, a very common cottage garden perennial plant grown all over the world for its high performing nature. This particular plant gets really quite large, and like me, this particular one is new, but over on the right hand side of the garden I've got a really large one of these. It's been in the ground for about 6 or 7 years now, coming up to around 4 feet in height. This one a really high performing plant, producing flowers all the way from July, August, September and into the beginning of October, where it's often mown down by the first frosts. Now, Amistad is slightly tender and you'll need to take some precautions if you grow somewhere particularly cold. Or you can do what I do. I simply leave mine in the ground and allow the frost to take it. So as soon as we've had our first frost, much as I would do a dahlia, I simply cut it to the floor and mulch over it with a couple of buckets of woodchip, and that's enough just to keep the worst of the winter weather off. If you're growing this particular herbaceous perennial somewhere cold and wet, I would strongly suggest you either lift the crown, put it into a large plastic container and bring it into the conservatory or greenhouse for the winter, or you can take cuttings of it and overwinter small cuttings in the greenhouse and bed them out again the next year. But Amistad is a fantastic cottage garden perennial. I say coming up to around 4 feet, it will produce a really large dense plant around 3 feet across with highly textured foliage that looks very much like all very highly textured with a slight amount of violets to the back edge of them. Say absolutely adored by pollinators. You'll find all sorts of bumblebees and butterflies adoring this one all the way through the summer months. But I say you must give it some protection. It prefers a position in the garden in full sun or dapple shade on a rich, fertile and well manured or humus rich soil. This one doesn't like drying out, so make sure you give this plenty of water through the summer months, and this one will reward you with absolutely masses of flowers for simply months on end. A really useful plant for giving yourself a great deal of colour right at the very back end. I say if we go into September, October and sometimes in the beginning of November, if the temperatures are mild, it will repeat flower beautifully. You can see all of these side shoots coming off of this particular plant, which will all in turn form flower spikes, often smaller than the first ones, but still beautiful as well. Try planting this one alongside other dark roses. I've got one here for you to show the color combination. Have a look at that. This one is Black Baraka, available from Peterbilt's Roses, or you could try this one with something a lot softer. Try planting salvia against maybe the Oxford Physics rose from Peterbilt's for a really beautiful color combination in your rose garden. Today's cottage garden companion plant is Salvia Amistad.